Morning. We're going to try something new. We talked about at our last elders meeting that we wanted to try devotion midweek. So about every Wednesday, you're going to see one of us or maybe somebody different coming with a devotion for the church. And so today I want to talk about our heart and being obedient. And I appreciate so much the daily readings that Nolan posts for us. And I'll be honest that I have not done every daily reading. But some days whenever I miss and I try to make up and you get bogged down, I draw a line and I just start again. And I know I'm not going to be 100%, but I appreciate the time that Nolan puts in preparing a devotion and preparing a post for us through our reading. So this morning, what I want to read is from 1 Samuel, and it starts in chapter 13. And so let me find that. In 1 Samuel chapter 13, it says, Saul was 30 years old when he became king, and he reigned over Israel 42 years. Saul chose 3,000 men from Israel. 2,000 were with him at Michmash and in the hill country of Bethel, and 1,000 were with Jonathan of Gibeah in Benjamin. The rest of the men he sent back to their homes. Jonathan attacked the Philistine outposts at Gibeah, and the Philistines heard about it. Then Saul had the trumpet blown throughout the land and said, "Let the Hebrews hear." So all Israel heard the news. Saul has attacked the Philistine outposts, and now Israel has become obnoxious to the Philistines, and the people were summoned to join Saul at Gilgal. The Philistines assembled to fight Israel with 3,000 chariots, 6,000 charioteers, and soldiers as numerous as the sand on the seashore. They went up and camped at Michmash, east of Beth-aven. When the Israelites saw that their situation was critical and that their army was hard-pressed, they hid in caves and thickets among the rocks and pits and cisterns. Some Hebrews even crossed the Jordan to the land of Gad and Gilgal. Saul remained at Gilgal, and all the troops with him were quaking with fear. He waited 7 days, the time set by Samuel, but Samuel did not come to Gilgal, and Saul's men began to scatter. So he said, "Bring me the burnt offering and the fellowship offerings." And Saul offered up the burnt offering just as he finished making the offering. Samuel arrived, and Saul went out to greet him. "What have you done?" asked Samuel. Saul replied, "When I saw that the men were scattering and that you did not come at the set time, and that the Philistines were assembling at Michmash, I thought, now the Philistines will come down against me at Gilgal, and I have not sought the Lord's favor. So I felt compelled to offer the burnt offering." "You have done a foolish thing," Samuel said. "You have not kept the command the Lord your God gave you. If you had, he would have established your kingdom over Israel for all time. But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command." Then Samuel left Gilgal and went up to Gibeah in Benjamin, and Saul counted the men who were with him. They numbered about 600. I read this passage and I think, well, Saul did what the Lord wanted, didn't he? He offered the sacrifice. He sought his favor. But if we know in 1 Samuel 10:8, it says, "Go down to get ahead of me to Gilgal. I will surely come down to you to sacrifice burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, but you must wait 7 days until I come to you and tell you what you are to do." And this was what Samuel had said to Saul. And so I see that Saul did the right thing in his eyes, or what he thought of, but he got anxious. He he decided to take things into his own hands. And I think so many times how that is how I am with God's plan. And I think, you know, I think I know better than God what I need to do in my life. And so sometimes I jump the gun, that I'm not patient. And there are things there are blessings that I think that I probably miss out on because I have not been patient and wait on God's timing. We see in the Bible so many times that when you wait on God, things work out a lot better in your life. In Saul's case, the kingdom was taken away from him because he did not obey. He wasn't obedient. His heart wasn't right with God. And so Samuel was the one that was supposed to be there to offer the sacrifices and the offerings for Saul, and he didn't want to wait. And how many times I'm that same way, and I don't want to wait. I think I know better. And so God shows me in the Bible how I'm supposed to be. And so in our high school Sunday school class, we tell our kids that there's nothing in this world, nothing that we go through personally, that it's not illustrated for us in the Bible how we are supposed to act and react. And we're kind of bad, though, about wanting to do it our way. As children, we're raised to be independent. We're raised to be self-sufficient. We want to do things our way, and we need to remember that God's in charge, that God has a plan for our lives, and that everything that we go through, God already knows. He already knows what our choices will be, but sometimes they're the wrong choices. And so as I read, I try. I'm not always successful by any means, but I try to do what I think God would want in my life. Sometimes it's hard to know what he wants, but sometimes it's so evident in the doors that he closes or the doors that he opens for us. And so today, for this devotion, I would hope that, especially for myself, that I see the consequences of being disobedient, that I see the consequences of not having the right heart. God wants to bless us, and he wants us to do things that would help ourselves in his walk in our walk with him. And so, as an obedient Christian, I hope today that you, in the whole situation that we're in, and this is a tough thing, you know, but we have to be obedient to what God wants us to be and do in our life. And so I hope that you have a great day. I hope that you enjoy these midweek devotions, these midweek contacts. And I will say that next week I think will be a special week. We want to honor our graduates, and so I hope you watch. It's not going to be just on Wednesday. At least that's what I'm hoping. That's what my plan is. And so check back to the website and see who might be bringing you a message, a devotion from the Word. And so I just pray that you all are safe, that you all are doing well, and we look forward to the day that we're together. And so many times I think isn't this going to be kind of what heaven's like? You know, we're so anxious to see those that have gone ahead of us, so those that we haven't seen for a long time, but just a million times better. And I pray that someday that we will all be together physically again as a congregation. And so I look forward to seeing you all, and have a great day. God bless you all.